Hello there, Yu-Gi-Oh fans and Yu-Gi-Oh haters. We're going to be talking about why the 7 Millennium items are not in Yu-Gi-Oh 7s. And we're going to be coming up with several different ideas of how you could have them 7 Millennium items or be able to introduce them in a way that makes sense. First scenario is a Shizu showing them off in a museum, wherever the main characters are located, whatever city, blank city, don't remember the name. But you could have it to where the main characters go and are visiting this museum. They see, of course, different pictures of, say, Yugi, and even maybe a recording of a shadow game, and a Shizu can word it in a way of like, oh, this potentially could be the last the Millennium items actually working. That would be scenario 1, all the main characters going to a museum. Scenario 2 again has to deal with a Shizu and her, it's windy outside, Jesus, and her telling Kaiba or one of the older characters about one of the someone trying to recreate the Millennium items, where the main bad guy of the show, he can't defeat the main character, so he does some research into the game of Yu-Gi-Oh, figures out how Pegasus came up with the name of the game, and tries to recreate the Millennium items, and or tries to recreate the Egyptian gods, which then activates the Millennium items. That's the next scenario. So scenario 2 is the bad guy trying to recreate some. Scenario 3 is the main character trying to recreate the Egyptian god cards, where he tries to recreate Obelisk, Ra, and Slifer. You could have it to where he tries to, after, of course, going to the museum, kind of having situation 1 into it, where he goes to the museum, he sees the stone tablet, sees the 3 Egyptian god cards. A Shizu tells him about the Egyptian god cards. He goes back to his lab and tries to recreate the Egyptian god cards in rush dual form, but he doesn't succeed in doing it, which makes the Egyptian, where he tries to recreate the Egyptian god cards, and it makes the Egyptian gods upset, and they can't, and he reactivates the Millennium items. And you could also have it to where the bad guy has a handful, like 2 or 3 of the Millennium items in his office, and he sees them glow, and whoever you want to be the guardian of the Millennium item shows up, and he, of course, does the test to see if he is worthy enough to have a Millennium item. That is scenario 3. Now, scenario 4, coming up off of out of my head, I guess, would be, you can have it to where somebody is trying to take over, like, the main bad guy is trying to buy stocks in Kaiba Corp, and Kaiba goes investigating, goes to the city, opens up a new thing. No, I would say the first 3 are the best.